Hello, my name is Marwan Tarazi. I'm the Director of the Center for Continuing Education at Birzeit University. I'm going to be talking about education and fragility. There's absolutely nothing that has a bigger impact on fragility, creating, increasing, or reducing fragility than education. Today, more than ever before, as we are racing into the so-called fourth industrial revolution, the educational divide is the leading, deciding factor on who will live in poverty or not, and who will live in fragility and who will not. And yet, when people are dealing with fragility and trying to address fragility, we see that people try to look at the basics. People start looking at safety issues, look at survival, they look at food and shelter, they look at health. And if it comes to education, people try to shy away. And if you think about it, education in most people's mind is this huge monster. It's this production line that sorts children by age and puts them into groups. They sort them by age and by sex and often by religion. Education is a fixed, confined spaces, puts people in spaces, and then it requires batches and works with times and fixed times to the minute, and then bells ring and people have to move and they have to stop from one subject to another subject, and they have to learn with this unified content and do unified exams, and you have to find teachers that are expected to do certain things that within the educational system. It's a big monster. So if you think about it, when you think about people living or going through fragility, those are people that are living their lives as in chaos. They are frequently moving, or they're forced not to move and they cannot move out of their confined spaces. They live in uncertainty. They are in life-threatening situations often. They live in risky environments. So when we talk about structured, educational structured and sustained structured, it's not something that works. This educational system that we're thinking about. So again, it's understandable when you think of people talking about educational system and fragility, what those people or the majority of people thinking of education want to see the refugees, say, move into one place, and there's a critical mass of refugees, and so we can take the refugees and fit them into the educational context that we're used to, we're comfortable with. Now, if we fit them there, then they can learn. But otherwise, it becomes too difficult for us to adjust. But in reality, this is not what education should be about. Education should be fit to the context of people. If they are on the move, then they need to learn when they're on the move. If they are idle, confined to fixed areas, they can't move because they are in a war zone or they're stuck in refugee camps, then they have plenty of time. They need to be able to learn in an accelerated way. If they lose their jobs, or if they are displaced and they need to find new employment, then we need an educational system that allows them to do that, that works with them on that. And today this is possible because for the first time in human history, we have unlimited educational content and educational tools that are available for anyone and everyone who has a mobile or a smart device, or through any teacher with access to a mobile or smart device. And we know today that half the world population approximately has mobile devices. So if we have this, how can we? Where do we take it from here? How can we do good education effectively and make it available for people in fragility? Let me tell you about the model that we worked on at Birzeit University. In 2017, Birzeit University, in partnership with UNICEF and through a research grant from IDRC, engaged in an educational project with Makani centers in Jordan. Makani is a very interesting and bold model by UNICEF. it was designed to deal with the context of refugees in Jordan. There were millions of refugees that moved into Jordan, overloading the system. And those refugees had a special context. And there was so many children out of school and so many people looking for jobs that needed attention. So UNICEF tried to deal with this thing. They developed this non-formal setting. They built it in community centers that are spread all over the world and located in areas where people living in fragility usually are refugees and other disadvantaged people or underprivileged groups, and they tried to work with them. So the system, they didn't go with the structure of an education model, certain hours. They tried to work with the times suitable for the children or for the learners. And they didn't put people in batches with strict age groups, but rather put them in learner groups based on their learning needs, and so on and so forth. So it was a bold model, and it moved forward with the refugees. But Makani ran into the ultimate challenge facing educational systems today. How can we qualify teachers and facilitators to provide high quality education? And this is where Birzeit University came in with our research. We came in with a model. It's the experiential learning objects, the xLOBs. And it's a model that we've been developing in Palestine and we've been implementing in the formal educational system. We took xLOBs into Makani centers, into the non-formal educational system. xLOBs are amazing beings. They are learning designs that provide sophisticated pedagogy, which integrates, connects knowledge areas plus skills, and puts it in real life context so that it's really stimulating for the learners and for the children. And yet, xLOBs are designed to achieve at least the same objectives required by the educational establishment we're working with. For example, if we're working with the Ministry of Education, we're meeting the objectives of the set by the Ministry of Education. In Makani, it was the objective set in Makani. So we achieved the same objectives on Makani for refugees. And what we did is that we provided facilitators, we empowered facilitators with limited traditional teaching abilities to provide amazing learning experiences. When we walked into Makani centers, just a few weeks after we started the process of training and providing the learning objects, we would see the same children engaged, various ages working together. Everybody's working, everybody's engaged, teamwork. We'd see they were making things, producing things. The facilitators are doing actual facilitating. They're looking, giving support. The center managers were excited about it. And this was, by the way, the same experience, what we witnessed when we went into xLOBs, schools in Palestine, within the formal settings. xLOBs are a powerful, transformative engine that managed to produce amazing results while working with the constraints of the existing educational system at practically no additional costs. Now, just imagine the opportunity that lies ahead. We have an engine for the most critical part of the educational system, how to design and implement very good learning designs using existing resources. And what's amazing about this is, unlike the traditional educational system, xLOBs are very highly adaptive, and they can work with various educational systems and models and tools and innovations. So with the explosion of educational content and tools and data and innovations, the options and the opportunities for what we can do with xLOBs are amazing. They're unlimited. Now, xLOBs has been a design-based research that we've been working on for the past at least 10 years. And now it's time to take it to the next level. We want to use xLOBs to address a lot of the critical issues that we speak about. Today, we have a substantial research opportunity that can drive an educational model for millions of learners across the Arab world, both children and adults. Birzeit University is committed to developing the model further. And I definitely wish to highlight that there's a need for much more research in order to speed up the development process and the development of the process. Today, the only barrier in using good education to reduce fragility is a commitment from those who genuinely care and are interested in reducing fragility to invest in adapting existing tools to match the learning needs of those who live in fragility. Let us work together at using education to make the world a better place for all. Thank you.